From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Wednesday, November 11th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana. Community members take to the streets after a grand jury decides no criminal charges to be filed in the Drejon Reed case. This morning, new evidence from the investigation and how the family is reacting.
Virtually all the counties surrounding us and our own are seeing historic highs.
The increase in coronavirus cases putting rural hospitals in a pinch. Working for you, we're looking at what hospitals say could happen if cases don't start decreasing.
I'll take you inside a community solution that's standing right now on this curbside. How it's helping families during this pandemic right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Plus, from the farm field to your table, the Rebound Indiana looks at how the pandemic is forcing changes to the way your produce is delivered. And here at 6:01, we want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. Raphael, good morning to you on this Veterans Day.
Lauren, good morning to you on this Veterans Day. Indeed, in fact, this morning we are honoring all veterans here in Indiana and across the country, including the family members here on our Good Morning Indiana team. From left to right, a big thank you to Todd's grandfather who served in World War II. Kelsey's dad served 20 years in the Army as a paratrooper. And one of our producers, Elizabeth, her grandfather served in the Indiana National Guard. To all of our veterans, thank you. And throughout this broadcast, we will be highlighting other veterans from throughout Indiana. A big day and a big thank you from all of us here at GMI.
And we do want to talk about our forecast on this Veterans Day, and Todd Clausen is standing by with more on that, and changes are coming our way, Todd, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know, 3 record high temperatures in a row for the city of Indianapolis. We had never done that before in the history of Indianapolis for the month of November. We had done 2 several times, but never 3. So that was record breaking yesterday, not only for the daily high temperature, but for the most consecutive days. And it's all coming to an end here with the passage of a cold front. Radar is pretty quiet now this morning. It was a lot more active yesterday evening, and most of the heavy rainfall is now off to the east, but there are still a few lingering showers here across parts of the area that you see. They'd just be a very light, maybe a sprinkle at best, and so you don't need to have the rain gear handy throughout the day today as those sprinkles move through here this morning. As the rain is moving out, the cold air is moving in. You can see everybody's now down into the 40s. In fact, Peru and Lafayette right at 40 degrees. You'll probably drop down into the upper 30s here this morning, while the rest of central Indiana probably stays in the mid 40s. But definitely have the jacket handy, because the problem is today we're just not really going to warm much at all. The clouds will decrease through the 10 a.m. hour, and then plenty of sunshine for this afternoon, but highs will only be right around 50 degrees. Lauren.
Todd, thanks. It's pretty quiet on the roads this morning. Here's a live look as you're heading in and out of downtown I-65. A view near Washington Street. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed and picking up at this early hour. We'll continue to keep you updated.
This has not been an easy task, and it's been a very heavy burden.
A grand jury decides not to indict IMPD officer DeJure Mercer in the shooting death of Drejon Reed. 7 months after the deadly incident, state police, they detailed the evidence that they considered in their investigation. This morning, WRTV's Kelsey Anderson has the reaction from the community. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So that grand jury, they declined indicting Officer DeJure Mercer, citing insufficient evidence. Now, after that announcement came from the county prosecutor, we heard from ISP on what exactly they know from their investigation that they say was extensive. So the state police superintendent, Doug Carter, he says this special investigation was not taken lightly. Seen publicly for the first time last night are clear pictures of Reed's gun with its distinct markings, in addition to new surveillance footage that shows how close Officer Mercer and Reed were to each other. But it doesn't clearly show what happens after the 2 men run across Michigan Road. State police point to audio data, which they say captures the sound of 13 gunshots from Officer Mercer and 2 from Reed, which were also matched to ballistics tests. ISP Superintendent Doug Carter says they are only going off what they know happened.
We didn't pick a side, and we will never pick a side. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours in this investigation for really 2 reasons. Number one, to explain to the family of Drayshawn Reed what happened. They lost a child. Number two, for the citizens of this great city to explain what happened on that day.
Reed's sister, Jasmine Reed, spoke last night to us saying in part, quote, "There was no justice served. My brother is not resting well. There's no way," end quote. An attorney for Officer Mercer released a statement last night saying in part, "We've always believed in the evidence proved that Mercer was justified in defending himself. The evidence showed that he took actions consistent with his training and more importantly, consistent with the law." Now, several organizations did release statements yesterday, including the NAACP, Metro Police, and the mayor's office. You can see all of those statements plus other statements right now over on the WRTV News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. And here at 6:06, following that announcement, many people marched in the streets of downtown upset with the grand jury's decision. Drayshawn Reed's sister, as you mentioned there, Kelsey, spoke to WRTV during the demonstration, and she shared her reaction to the grand jury's decision and a message for those who are speaking out in her brother's name.
There was no justice served. My brother is not resting well. There's no way. So now we got to go on every day. I got to have my son. We got to go on every day with life. My brother can't, see his nephew coming into this world. He can't enjoy his niece anymore, his mother, his father, his other two sisters. I mean, to the community, just keep fighting for my brother, your family, everybody.
Well, despite concerns from business owners in the area, the demonstration did remain peaceful. Organizers for Indy 10 Black Lives Matter posted on social media saying they plan to hold another protest today. Raphael.
Lauren, now to the latest on the pandemic's impact on our state. Here are the latest numbers. State health officials confirm 63 more coronavirus deaths. That's the highest number in a single report since April. Since the pandemic began, nearly 4,500 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Health officials also report nearly 4,900 new coronavirus cases. Since March, more than 219,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus.
Well, Raphael, the climbing number of coronavirus cases really having an impact on area hospitals.
And so this morning, rural area hospitals say that they're reaching a critical bed status situation. Reed Health, which serves 9 counties in eastern part of our state, officials there say the increasing cases is causing them to run out of space, even exceeding what they can offer as temporary overflow. They say they might also have to cut back on the services if this trend continues.
We will have to look at whether we can continue to support the elective surgeries and so forth. And I don't want to cause alarm or panic, but we're running out of options.
The doctor says the hospital is partnering with extended care facilities to help place patients elsewhere. He says Hoosiers and especially young people need to keep wearing face masks and follow those safety protocols so that hospitals can continue caring for patients in need.
And at 6:08 this morning, investigators hope that a new video will help to solve a Northside house fire. Take a good look at your screen. Home surveillance video showing a person on camera outside of this home on 91st Street as it caught fire. Saturday's fire on East 91st Street near Westfield Boulevard has been ruled an arson. The person seen here in this video is not seen super clearly, but investigators are hoping that this helps to lead to more information. IFD says the homeowners and their pets were able to evacuate before the fire got inside the home. This is incredible video that the owner shot before they escaped that house fire. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers.
From WRTV Investigates, a former Tri-West High School principal will apologize to one of his former students. Adam Benner reached a pretrial diversion agreement with prosecutors on November the 6th. He admitted to one misdemeanor charge of failure to make a report. The charges against Benner stem from the Tyler Bruce case, a former Tri-West teacher and coach who is now charged with child seduction. A court records show that Benner knew about allegations involving Bruce and a then 16-year-old student. Rather than reporting it to police or to the Department of Child Services, Benner told other administrators any further information regarding Bruce and the student should be sent directly to Benner. Now, as part of the agreement, Benner must send an apology letter to the victim, who is now 18 years old.
Instead, use your time to go teach another teacher, administrator, someone in another school system to prevent it from happening to someone else. That would be a real apology.
Adam Benner resigned from Tri-West in June of last year. As part of the one-year agreement, Benner must also not commit any criminal offenses, promptly respond to all telephone calls and letters from the prosecutor's office, pay court fees and costs, as well as must work to find suitable employment. Now, if he meets all the requirements, after a year, prosecutors will dismiss the criminal case against Benner. WRTV did reach out to the Hendricks County Prosecutor's Office as well as Benner's attorney. We're still waiting to get a response from them. And by the way, Tyler Bruce, he denies the allegations against him. His trial is set for February.
We're actually on pace to kind of have a nice record year.
Well, a record year squashed by the coronavirus pandemic. Coming up, how the coronavirus is changing the way you get your produce. Todd.
And after enjoying a nice stretch of temperatures well above normal that went all the way back into last week, including some record highs this week, temperatures for the next couple days are going to be up and down, but for the most part below normal. We should be in the mid-50s. We'll break it all down for you coming up in your Storm Team forecast.
And on this Veterans Day, we'd like to thank the men and women, especially Hoosiers, serving and protecting our country. The Rebound Indiana is all about our commitment here at WRTV to make sure that you make it beyond this pandemic. And Lauren, I really have loved the last couple of days of your stories as you've taken a look at how local producers have adapted to the changing consumer needs. And so your stories have been fabulous, if I'm allowed to say that. It's not on the script, but I felt like I could say it because it's true.
Oh, thank you, Raphael. I appreciate that. And so we talked about producers, and now we're moving to the next stage in that whole farm-to-table process, and that's distribution. So with Indiana Grown, we want to see how Piazza Produce is getting local fresh food from farms right to your home in this pandemic.
Non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, low sodium.
Getting food from producers to your dinner plate.
You know, we got some dressings now and cheeses. And
Marcus Agresta is the president of Piazza Produce, located here on Indy's northwest side. What all happens inside this building?
So we're open, 24/7, run 3 shifts.
A distribution company for specialty foods and produce, bringing products into their warehouse and then delivering them all over the Midwest.
Anything that we can find locally, we like to work with them.
The year 2020 kicked off full steam ahead and full of potential.
We're actually on pace to kind of have a nice record year.
And then the pandemic made its way to the Hoosier state.
That all stopped like literally overnight.
Bringing the customers they service, restaurants, caterers, schools, and more to a grinding halt.
It was a rough few weeks.
The problem wasn't a lack of food like many of us saw on bare grocery store shelves, but a major disruption in the supply chain.
As soon as they're picked off their vine or whatnot, the clock's on. And if we don't sell it, we're going to smell it. That's kind of a saying in our industry.
Distributors like Piazza left with a warehouse full of perishable items with nowhere to go.
Planning and forecasting has just been, it's really tough. School's going to start? No, it's not. Oh, they're going to go back halftime? No, they're not.
Heather Tallman with Indiana Grown says consumers in stores saw the opposite.
I think some people were concerned there might be shortages of food or price gouging.
But that provided opportunity for members like Piazza Produce to get creative and fill the gap.
People were suddenly wanting to buy freezer beef, chicken and things like that. So whereas there wasn't so much of a shortage of food, there was suddenly an influx in awareness.
We did public sales, literally in a few days we came up with that restaurant quality products to your door type of thing. So we're still doing that. We're still doing some mobile markets. We use this saying a lot during this time, laying new tracks. So we've laid some new tracks.
And Agresta said the whole team jumped on board.
To see our team and our culture, everybody's rolling their sleeves up and doing things they've never done before, packing boxes, the marketing team and the sales team, we're literally doing physical labor.
Plus, this sparked the creation of a new app connecting consumers directly to their products. They hope to have that out soon to the public. And for more information on Piazza Produce's pickups and local food options, you can visit our website, WRTV.com/rebound, and click on this story. And join us tomorrow at 6 a.m. as we look at how a local hospital group is stepping up their fight against food insecurity in this pandemic. Here at 6:18, it is Wednesday, and a big change in the forecast, Todd.
Yeah, you know, we're dealing with the colder air starting to work its way in, Lauren. We were enjoying temperatures the last 3 days in the 70s. It was absolutely terrific. Well, it's a bit of a reality check today, but we're back to where we actually should be this time of year. Radar is fairly quiet. You have to look really, really close to find just a few lingering showers that are continuing to work their way through the area. And this really, honestly, is probably nothing more than a sprinkle across parts of the area. So don't be shocked if you get on the roadways and you have to just briefly throw on the windshield wipers, but you do not need to have the rain gear today, the umbrella, the rain jacket. You can kind of tuck that aside for a couple days here as we're going to enter a pretty dry stretch of weather. All the heavier rainfall is off to the east, as you can see. So if you are traveling east here, whether by air or by car today, just know you're going to run into that rainfall. But for us, we're going to see the clouds decrease, and that shower threat comes to an end pretty quickly here this morning. And by the time we get to the afternoon hours, as TrueCast shows you, we're going to be enjoying lots of sunshine across the area. It's just not going to warm up a whole lot here throughout the day today. The clouds, though, firmly in place here this morning still. Temperature in Indy is now down to 46 degrees, but look at this. It feels like it's 39, and that's because of this wind that's out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour. So not only is it the wind speed that's the issue here throughout the day today, it's the wind direction that's out of the northwest. That's a cool wind direction, and when the winds are that strong out of the northwest, it's really hard to warm our temperatures up, even with sunshine during the daytime hours. Down to 40 in Peru as well as Lafayette, 46 as we said in Indy. Still holding on to a couple 50s here as you work your way from Connersville down towards Bedford, but you too will likely fall into the 40s here this morning for your morning lows. And then it's just going to be a slow climb because look at the cold air that's off to our west, 30s and 20s and teens. And we're not going to see our temperatures go down into the teens in the coming days, but by tomorrow morning there could be a couple 20s that will be out there in northern locations. Clouds give way to sunshine as you see your hourly breakdown throughout the day today. Temperatures will get back up to about 51 degrees this evening. We cool off very quickly back through the 40s and eventually into the 30s. And here are those low temperatures tomorrow morning. Peru, I would say over towards Logansport, Delphi, Florida, you could get up to about 28, 29 for your overnight lows, right around freezing in Indy. But the good news is tomorrow is a quiet day. The wind is calmer. We have lots of sunshine from start to finish. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s for your afternoon highs. Friday's cooler again, but bright at 48. There could be a few flakes Saturday morning with temperatures below freezing and a little wave of moisture moving through, but temperatures quickly warm into the 50s, so no accumulation, and then it's just rain showers. Sunday warmer at 62, but back into the 40s to start next week. Lauren.
All right, Tom, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Wednesday. Good morning, Boone County. Here's a live look at I-65 in Lebanon. You can see traffic is traveling smoothly and picking up here northbound and southbound. No delays right now around central Indiana or the metro area to slow down your Wednesday commute. Raphael?
So Congress headed back to work, but will we see another new round of stimulus checks? Still ahead, the latest proposals here on this Wednesday on Good Morning Indiana.
It is 6:23 on our Wednesday, this November 11th. Raphael, let's chat about what's trending at 6.
So, Lauren, I thought that this was home video of Todd Clausen, and here's why. Because, you know, Todd is an amazing golfer, an incredible hole-in-one during practice for the Masters tournament, and hardly anyone was around to see it. During a practice round, Spain's John Rahm skipped a ball across a pond, ran it up the green to sink a hole-in-one. But because of the pandemic, there were few people to witness it. The skip shot is a 16th hole tradition during the practice rounds at Augusta. It also happened to be Rahm's 26th birthday, and he calls it a pretty nice present.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Wow.
Well, do you remember Nanny Bushell? She's the 10-year-old from the UK who challenged the Foo Fighters' Dave Grohl to a drum battle. Well, on Monday, the New York Times hosted a video chat between Bushell and Grohl, allowing the pair to meet for the first time. That's when he asked her to join the Foo Fighters on stage when they returned to the UK. And she looks super excited.
Wow.
Very talented young lady there.
She definitely is. And Lauren, on this Wednesday, it is time to enjoy the fall foliage. This picture is from Gordon Strain. This was taken in Hamilton County in Carmel. Check out that big red tree there, red leaves on the tree. That's absolutely beautiful. We'll continue to share your photos of the seasonal change in central Indiana as long as it lasts. And Todd, with these heavy winds that we're seeing, maybe those leaves won't stick around very much longer.
You know, a lot of them are down here across central Indiana, but there's still some beautiful trees out there. Certain trees hang on to the leaves a little bit longer than others, so you can still check them out. And of course, if you do see one, send in one of those pictures to Raphael, myself, or Lauren, and we'll get them on the air. Temperatures here this morning in the process of cooling down. A lot of people have been out and about the past couple days enjoying the record high temperatures in the 70s. Look at that, 40 in Lafayette right now. It's 40 in Peru as well. A little warmer still off to the east, but if you're in the 50s, consider yourself lucky because you'll fall into the 40s here this morning, and then throughout the afternoon hours, we do get into a lot of sunshine. And in this picture from Brown County State Park, obviously not current, but the park would be a great place to be later on this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, but you'll have to bundle up a little bit with high temperatures that'll only rebound back up into the upper 40s in Kokomo, around 50 in Indy, about 55 in Bloomington and Columbus. Lauren.
All right, Tom, thank you. So remember talk of a second stimulus check? Well, the presidential election put those negotiations on hold. But will we get one now? Working for you, our John Matarese has the latest, so you don't waste your money.
With the election now over, Congress is getting back to work. And one of the first things many Americans want to hear is whether we're going to get another round of stimulus checks. So where's that next $1,200 check we've heard about? Negotiations in Congress stalled as the election approached. Democrats last pushed a $2.2 trillion package with another round of checks. The White House offered a $1.9 trillion stimulus, also with checks. But Senate Republicans offered a $500 billion skinny bill that may not include any checks. But from the Doesn't That Sting file, the hundreds of YouTube videos that make it seem another stimulus check is on the way anytime.
Will the focus be even louder on stimulus? All indications are it will.
And welcome back to another stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Hey guys, Remy here with your second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update.
But the king of YouTube stimulus check videos is a guy known as It's Jimmy, who posts stimulus videos every few days.
What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update.
According to Business Insider, this video with 121,000 views should earn him about $1,300, almost the same amount as a stimulus check. So we could end up seeing another stimulus check in December, or we could see just a lot more YouTube videos. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here is your 6:30 news feed. Metro Police investigating the deaths of two people at a home on the city's southeast side as a murder-suicide. Homicide detectives were called to Amarillo Way just before 6:30 Tuesday evening. The neighborhood is near Stop 11 Road and South Combs Road. Investigators say officers found a man and woman inside the home with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds.
An Indianapolis charter school now has its first school bus, and it's one that will never need to be gassed up. Paramount Cottage Home School received an electric school bus this week. It's part of the school's promise to the Cottage Home Neighborhood Association to reduce the car volume on campus and reduce the pollution that would affect nearby homes. The bus can hold up to 60 passengers and go 125 miles before needing to be recharged.
An organization that feeds thousands of people every Thanksgiving, it needs your help right now. The Moselle Sanders Foundation is looking for restaurants and schools that can open their kitchens to help prepare and warm up Thanksgiving dinners. The organization normally uses the kitchen at Butler University, but that's shut down due to the pandemic. To find out how you can help this great organization, you can go to our website, WRTV.com, and click on this story. On this Wednesday, November the 11th, we salute all of our veterans here in Indiana and across the country. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Raphael. And Todd, good morning to you. We have some changes people need to be aware of in the forecast.
Yes.
Some rain moved in. It was a little windy yesterday. What do people need to know waking up this morning?
Yeah, you noticed the change starting yesterday evening first, right? The rain was out there, and then we had that gust of wind that came through with the passage of the front, and now we're starting to cool things down and kind of still in the process of doing that across parts of the area here this morning. So what do you need to grab before you go as you walk out the door? Well, grab the sunglasses. You won't initially need them here this morning, but by this afternoon, it's a sun-filled day, so have them handy. You do not need the umbrella. Most of the rain is out of here, but you definitely need to have at least a light jacket. And notice the split in temperatures across the state. It's 36 right now in Gary. It's 40 in Peru, 46 in Indianapolis. The green areas you see here are temperatures that are still in the 50s. If you're in the 50s, just know that this cooler air is heading in your direction, unfortunately, and everybody will either be in the 30s or 40s here by about 8, 9 o'clock this morning. As far as the rain goes, you see just a few areas of green left here on the satellite radar picture. Nothing more than a sprinkler or two, but if you're in some northern or western locations this morning and getting on the roadways, just don't be shocked if you see that quick passing shower. But all the heavier rainfall is now well off to the east. So where do we go from here this morning with temperatures in the 40s? Well, the good news is we'll brighten the skies after some cloud cover this morning, and it'll be a sun-filled afternoon for us. But even with the sunshine, unfortunately, temperatures really don't moderate all that much. 48 degrees by the noon hour with temperatures only in the low 50s here, Lauren, later on this afternoon.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic this morning. Good morning to you in Anderson. Here's a live look at I-69 up at State Road 9, where you can see traffic is traveling up to speed, picking up just a little bit there, both northbound and southbound. No delays. Right now, traffic's pretty quiet around the metro area as well. Raphael, great news for your Wednesday commute.
Lauren, a grim milestone as we take a closer look at the pandemic's impact here on our state. The State Health Department reported 63 new Hoosiers on coronavirus deaths on Tuesday. That's the highest number in a single report since April. This month so far, 387 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. This month is now the second deadliest for the virus since July. To date, nearly 4,500 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Health officials also report nearly 4,900 new cases. Since March, more than 219,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus.
Well, while doctors and nurses are dealing with an increase in COVID-19 patients, emergency room staff, they're also seeing an increase in people coming in there with mental health issues. The amount of people who need mental health care has greatly increased this year. In IU Health's large emergency departments, 1 in 4 patients are actually coming in seeking behavioral health assistance. Over at Eskenazi, health clinics have seen a 35% increase in people seeking mental health care in just the past 3 months. And doctors say that resources are running thin.
Compared to 2019, we are seeing about double the amount of patients coming into our emergency departments with a primary diagnosis of behavioral health. A lot of the inpatient units are reaching capacity.
Well, if you're experiencing depression, suicidal thoughts, or anxiety, experts recommend starting with your primary care physician. You can also stop into any emergency room or call a mental health hotline for help.
The grand jury ruling is now in. Next on Good Morning Indiana, a closer look at their decision in a fatal police shooting. Plus, what happens next in this high-profile case.
Today is Veterans Day, and we do want to take a moment to thank all of our military veterans for their service to this country by highlighting a few of them right here on WRTV. You can see their pictures right now on your screen. Thank you so much. The time right now is 6:33, and Good Morning Indiana will continue when we come back after this short break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The Metro Police officer accused of killing Drejon Reed back in May will not face any criminal charges. Lauren, that's the decision of a grand jury after their review of a state police investigation.
And Raphael, peaceful protests were held downtown following the release of that decision. And our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with more on the reaction to what appears to be the end of this case. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So the grand jury declined to indict Officer DeJour Mercer, citing insufficient evidence. Now, after that announcement was made, the Indiana State Police went over with the media exactly what they know happened in this case. Now, Indiana law requires a secret grand jury, so we don't know what happened in that grand jury room and in that decision-making process. But what we do know is that last night, State Police Superintendent Doug Carter tells the media that the special investigation was not taken lightly. Seen publicly for the first time last night are clear pictures of Reed's gun with its distinct markings, in addition to new surveillance footage that shows how close Officer Mercer and Reed were to one another. But it doesn't clearly show what happens after the two men run across Michigan Road. State police point to audio data, which they say captures the sound of 13 gunshots from Officer Mercer and 2 gunshots from Reed, which were also matched to ballistics tests. The task of announcing that no charges would be filed against IMPD Officer DeJour Mercer was a visibly difficult duty for Special Prosecutor Rosemary Curry.
Fairness, and from day one, that's been my goal. It's a very sad situation to have. No one wins. No one wins here. So I hope that anyone who was a part of this entire process can look at this and feel comfortable that the investigation was done in an impartial manner, because that's exactly what my team and I did over the past 5 months that we've had this case.
Now, Reed's sister, Jasmine Reed, spoke last night to WRTV saying, quote, "There was no justice served. My brother is not resting well. There's no way," end quote. And then an attorney for Officer Mercer released a statement last night saying, in part, "We've always believed the evidence proved that Mercer was justified in defending himself. The evidence showed that he took actions consistent with his training and, more importantly, consistent with the law." Now, several organizations, including the NAACP, Metro Police, and the Mayor's Office, all released statements yesterday on this decision of the grand jury and what seems to be the closure of this case. We have all those statements plus others over on the WRTV News app right now. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, a federal lawsuit is ongoing in the DeJour Reed case, but after the grand jury's decision, what is next in this case? I spoke to a defense attorney, Ralph Staples from Indianapolis, who in the past has served as a special prosecutor.
Can any of the information that was gathered by that grand jury, can that be used in any other legal matters? In other words, is this case closed?
Right now, as it stands, the case is closed. Now, there may be some plaintiff's attorney on behalf of the decedent's family who may try to get access to that information, but grand jury secrecy laws prohibit that information from being released. Now, they may fashion a legal argument and go to a court, either state or federal, and try to force disclosure of that material, but right now, there is no basis for that material to be released, and we can assume that it may not ever see the light of day.
If the grand jury testimony is recorded, but it can't be shared, what's the purpose of having it recorded?
It can be shared in the event of an indictment. If someone who's a target of the grand jury, if there's a finding that probable cause exists for them to be charged with criminal conduct, they then have a right to access to what would be called the prior sworn testimony of the witnesses called by the grand jury. It would be turned over by the state in the discovery process. That's why those transcripts, the recordings would be transcribed and then they'd be produced.
At this point, though, whatever happened among those grand jurors will not be known by the public. Is that correct?
Exactly. Grand jury secrecy laws prohibit disclosure of any materials presented to the grand jury. And now that there's been a no bill, this case is essentially over.
Ralph Staples, thank you so much for joining us.
Very welcome.
All right, a cold front is making its way through central Indiana here this morning. Gone are all those temperatures in the 70s that we enjoyed the past few days, being replaced by some cooler temperatures, and there's a few spotty showers out there. The good news is we do get into plenty of sunshine today, but with that sunshine, notice these temperatures. We really don't warm much at all this afternoon. We'll break down today's forecast and also look ahead to your weekend coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:43 here on your Wednesday. Here's a live look at traffic north of the downtown area where everything's traveling up to speed. The bottom left corner of the screen, you can see a stalled vehicle there off the shoulder, not causing any delays for drivers. We'll continue to keep an eye on your roads, though, and keep you updated throughout the morning. Raphael, new this morning as the pandemic drags on and the economy remains rocky. Food pantries, they are popping up on street corners throughout central Indiana.
Yeah, this is a really cool effort. Many of these programs are supported by homeowners finding new ways to rescue food for Hoosier families in need right in their areas.
At the end of the day, I don't think anyone should be hungry.
Outside her home, Christina Nelson Canfield set up a curbside food pantry in Old Town Greenwood, the cabinet full of non-perishable foods. People can drive up anytime, no questions asked, and take what they need. The current economic uncertainty caused by the pandemic has made this a lifesaver for many area families.
More people are struggling without jobs or lack of hours, and so they're leaning more heavily on food pantries to get them by so that they can buy gas or school stuff.
Most of the non-perishable items are donated by people in the neighborhood. Those that are not in this cabinet are posted online for pickup.
Items like Similac baby food and milk and meats that become available in the moment are posted on their website, all for the taking on a first-come, first-served basis.
I probably get 5 to 6 people using it every day.
While Christina runs this little free pantry, her friend Michelle, 10 miles away, has one set up outside her home in Franklin. And in Shelby County, the fight against food insecurity is the mission of a separate program known as B&C Free Pantry. Day and night, the efforts all shedding light on a can-do attitude to feed families with cabinets on the corner.
Really a great idea. Christina is now preparing to distribute some Thanksgiving baskets in just a matter of weeks. For more information about her little free pantry, you can give her a call and she'll connect you to any other pantry in the area by giving her a call at 317-488-1034. And Lauren, it's these kinds of efforts that are really worthy of maybe a Jefferson Award nomination. Congratulations to all those participating in these corner cabinet food pantries.
Yes, great story there, Raphael. We know that those ladies are working hard down there in Johnson County and all around our area, so we are thankful for them. So a park on the near south side of Indianapolis, it is back open and it's better than ever. Sandover Park now features a musical sensory plaza, a fully accessible play structure, a new basketball court, and a track for skateboarding and much more. The park is located on Dawson Street, right behind Frederick Douglass IPS School 19. And Todd, if kids are heading out to recess today, if they're in school, what do they need to wear?
You know, we probably need to bundle up a little bit. The good news is by the time we get to the noon hour, we're looking at a lot of sunshine here, Lauren, across central Indiana, but definitely a lot colder than it has been the past couple days. There's no doubt about that, as we set 3 record high temperatures in a row. So this morning, there's some clouds out there. There's a spot shower or two as well, but by this afternoon, sunny skies, and then this evening with clear skies, we'll cool off very, very quickly once the sun sets, so keep that in mind. And there'll be a little bit of a breeze here throughout the day today, so that is going to make these temperatures actually feel a little bit colder. In fact, your actual temperature right now is in the 40s, right at 40 degrees in Lafayette as well as Peru, but it feels like it's closer to freezing when you factor in the wind. You notice as you work your way south and east, temperatures still in the 50s from Richmond to Connorsville to Columbus down into the Bedford area, but these 40s will overtake these 50s here as well as we progress throughout the remainder of the morning hours. And then unfortunately, we just really don't warm a whole lot throughout the day today, and that's due to this cloud cover that's off to our west and the cooler skies, or through cooler temperatures rather. With that northwesterly wind, it'll just prevent us from warming much at all, but it's going to be bright. That's the good news. You notice the temperatures here down about 44 degrees through the 9 a.m. hour, and then we'll slowly start to climb we don't see that big jump. The past couple days, we went from the 50s and 60s all the way into the 70s by the noon hour. It's only going to be in the 30s for the most part here over the course of the overnight hours, and then eventually into tomorrow. Now, as far as the rain goes, there's a few spotty showers out there. That's just about it. Really uneventful. This will continue to move through. All the heavy rainfall now is moving off to the east. As far as where temperatures go this afternoon, this is what you're going to see probably around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We've already hit our high temperatures for the day today, and that was right after midnight when we were in the upper 50s. About 48 today in Logansport, 49 in Kokomo, Frankfort around 51 degrees. Southern locations, you'll be around 53 in Martinsville this afternoon, and as we work our way further to the south, 55 in the Bloomington area. Going forward this evening, it cools off very, very quickly. Temperatures will go from the 40s eventually into the 30s under a clear sky. So if you do have plans this evening, make sure you do bundle up. And then for the day tomorrow, it's a bright day for us from start to finish. You wake the temperatures, though, right around freezing tomorrow morning, and then it's a slow climb through the mid-50s in the afternoon hours. Friday, grab a coat, about 50 degrees for your high temperature. On Saturday, a few flakes are possible early in the morning. Don't let it scare you because it's not going to accumulate as temperatures eventually climb up into the 50s. But then some rain showers will be possible in the afternoon. Sunday, partly cloudy and warmer, so that precipitation is part of a warm front moving through. The warm-up is brief, though, on Sunday because we're right back into the 40s for high temperatures. Lauren, as we head into Monday and Tuesday.
Todd, thank you. Let's get a look at traffic this morning up in Carmel. Good morning to you. This is US 31 near Rangeline Road. Traffic is moving along up to speed. Pretty quiet up that way still this morning. We'll continue to keep you updated. So tonight is country music's biggest night of the year. It's the annual CMA Awards, and you'll only see the show right here on WRTV. This year it's going to look a little different. The stars will be primarily performing for a TV audience only due to the pandemic, so no fans will be at Nashville's Music Center. Only the nominees, the performers, and their guests will be in-house. The venue has been set up to resemble the first CMA Awards show back in 1967. Miranda Lambert leads the way this year with 7 nominations. She's now the most nominated female artist in CMA Awards history. Darius Rucker and Reba McEntire will serve as the hosts.
Well, this year is a really crazy year and different, and to be hosting with Reba is such an honor, and we're going to try to just get the performers on the stage, get the people on the stage that be on the stage and be good hosts and have a lot of fun, and hopefully, we laugh a lot.
Yeah, because everything has happened with the pandemic, the quarantine. We're going to try to keep it light, be funny. That's up to you. See? That's all I got to say, and he starts laughing.
You make me laugh.
Well, again, you can watch the 54th Annual CMA Awards tonight right here on WRTV from 8 to 11. Raphael?
Should be a great show. We hope that you watch. There's new guidance on wearing masks, and it comes the same day that Indiana's governor will update all of us on the state's COVID-19 response. We'll have that plus your other top stories coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back. It is 6:54 here on your Wednesday on Good Morning Indiana. Our own Todd Closet is standing by with your forecast for today. But first, Raphael, let's get to the top stories.
Lauren, a grand jury chose not to indict a Metro police officer for the shooting death of Drejon Reed back in May. A peaceful protest took place downtown following the announcement of that decision by a special prosecutor. A federal lawsuit is still ongoing in this case.
Well, the CDC has made some changes to its guidance on wearing masks. The agency now says cloth face coverings can also protect you and not just the people around you. The change comes the same day that Governor Holcomb will have an update on Indiana's response to the pandemic. So far, Holcomb has resisted putting in new restrictions despite the new numbers of cases across the state.
A former Tri-West High School principal will apologize to one of his former students as part of a plea deal with prosecutors. Adam Benner admitted to one misdemeanor charge of failure to report an inappropriate relationship between the student and the former Tri-West teacher and coach, Tyler Bruce. Prosecutors say that Benner told other administrators that any information regarding the teacher and student should be sent to him directly.
And we want to pause again and thank Army Sergeant First Class Rhonda Seward, along with all of our military veterans. Today, of course, is Veterans Day, and we've been highlighting all of our Indiana vets throughout the morning here on Good Morning Indiana. Thank you again for your service. All right, Todd.
A big thank you.
Yes, a big thank you. And Todd, talk to us about our forecast on this Veterans Day.
Yeah, you know, it's a decent day for us. It's going to be bright. It's just going to be a lot cooler. Now, it's not so bright right now. You just got to be a little bit patient here this morning. And then we'll eventually see the sunshine make its way into the area. So it will become mostly sunny. As we work our way throughout the next couple days, it's a little cooler. Friday, 48 degrees. Saturday, 53. Could see a few snowflakes even Saturday morning. Don't be shocked if you do. It's not going to accumulate. And then we just deal with some scattered showers. 62 on a Sunday, briefly warmer. And then as we work our way into Monday and Tuesday of next week, definitely need to have the jacket handy as temperatures will be in the 40s. Low temperatures there across the board with the exception of Sunday morning going to be down into the 30s.
Todd, thank you. We are back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with local news, weather, and of course traffic updates. And remember, all your news throughout the day can be found right on the WRTV mobile app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. Have a great Wednesday.